fighter out, and it's not like we ducking or dodging anyone. Lomachenko has to fight as many fights as possible, extremely quick, because he's very, very old. Tank is probably 10 years or 11 years younger than Lomachenko. Lomachenko will be 40 before you know it. There's no rush, Tank. Your job is to continue to go out there and do what you're doing. You're making the same money Lomachenko is making, and you're doing it easier. Lomachenko just fought, and Lomachenko is a hell of a fighter, and I like Lomachenko. But the guy, after Tank went out there and beat the champion up, Lomachenko fought Tank leftovers and with the distance. And guess what? Tank didn't have to go to the Olympics. Tank didn't have to fight 300 amateur fights. Tank didn't have to fight 400 amateur fights. Tank gonna go out there and get the job done. This right here, he's the real one in boxing. He's the truth.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So what you just heard was the voice of undefeated, retired, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar boxer who retired 50-0, the man known as Money, Floyd Mayweather Jr., turned promoter and founder of Mayweather Promotions. And he's talking about his fighter, undefeated 3-division world champion, superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 27 wins, no loss and no draw, 25 big wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'5", with a 67-inch arm reach. With that said, Floyd Mayweather is referring to two-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar boxer Vasily Lomachenko, who has 16 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout. He is now 34 years of age, 5'6" with a 66-inch arm reach. So Floyd Mayweather, this is a past interview Floyd Mayweather done, and it's resurfacing because of, you know, everybody wants to see what's next with Gervonta Tank Davis, okay? And Floyd Mayweather referred to Pedraza. You know, Gervonta Tank Davis, he knocked out Pedraza, and Lomachenko, he went the distance with Pedraza, right? And so this is a past interview, but now fast forward, Gervonta Tank Davis' status has grown leaps and bounds since then. Okay, he was already a superstar in this interview, but now his status has grown leaps and bounds, and everybody's interested to see what's next. And they want to see Gervonta Tank Davis in with the absolute biggest names possible. Financially, Gervonta Tank Davis, like Floyd Mayweather stated then, was already making the money that Lomachenko was making, possibly more than Lomachenko, right? And now I'm sure he's making more money than Lomachenko, right? And Lomachenko, he fights with legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO Bob Arum, ESPN, and Top Rank. And Lomachenko had been calling out, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis at that point repeatedly, okay? And most recently, you had Coach Calvin, big brother, father figure, mentor, longtime trainer of Gervonta Tank Davis. He had came out and he stated that they've been waiting for that fight. That's the fight that they want. They've been patiently waiting to make the fight happen with Lomachenko. That's the fight Gervonta Tank Davis wants. Well, Gervonta Tank Davis was leading up into his latest fight, which was May 28th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, against fellow stablemate, lightweight title contender star boxer Rolando Rolly Romero, which he brutally knocked out in the 6th round. And he broke some records in doing so. He had the biggest boxing live gate at the Barclays Center at $5 million. He also reportedly did 350 to 400,000 pay-per-view buys, which is great. If that number holds to be true, that's great for today's climate. Now, I know we say, all right, it got to be 1,800,000. Today's climate with people illegally streaming fights, that's a great number, okay? So we know he's a mega star. He's a pay-per-view star. And Coach Calvin, and leading up into his last fight, he stated that he was parting ways with Mayweather Promotions. This was his last fight. He only had one fight left on his contract. Now people are starting to feel like it was a ploy. Okay, it was a way to draw attention because he took to social media. He stated that he was parting ways with Mayweather Promotions. He wasn't happy with Mayweather Promotions. and that, you know, this was his last fight with Mayweather Promotions, and he was going to focus on GTD Promotions, Gervonta Tank Davis Promotions, and it was time for him to, you know, take the training wheels off and make his own decisions and do his own thing. Well, shortly after his victory, he stated that he got the best team in the world, and he's staying with Mayweather Promotions. And now it's all but confirmed that he's still with Mayweather Promotions. So, you know, to the fans, they really don't care as long as Gervonta Tank Davis make the fights the fans want to see. So, Coach Calvin, he stated that that's a fight that everybody wants, and they was looking to make it happen. Well, obviously, Lomachenko's on the shelf, and now he's just recently announced that he's coming back in October. Lomachenko was on the shelf because he was 10 toes down in the Ukraine, helping defend his country in the unfortunate situation and chain of events that's taking place between Ukraine and Russia. And so he was off the shelf. I mean, he was on the shelf. He was off the market, right? But now, you know, he says he's coming back in October. So everybody wants to see Lomachenko face, because he is 34, like Floyd said in this video, either undefeated, newly crowned undisputed lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Devin the Dream Haney, who's 28 wins, no loss and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He is 23 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, coming off of the biggest victory in his career against former unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr., in which he dominated. That was June 4th, the weekend, the Saturday after the Tank's fight, May 28th. He fought June 4th in his States. It was June 5th because the fight actually took place in Australia. And he dominated, pitched the shutout, won every single round. Okay, it wasn't even a close fight. It wasn't competitive. And so because of that, you know, his status went up. And Tank was saying that he wanted to fight Devin Haney. Okay, and his team is saying that he wanted to fight Lomachenko. Well, now Tank Davis is 27. He'll be 28, I believe, next year, right? And now fans are getting restless. They're getting anxious. They want to see the best fighting the best. They don't want to see Tank in there with Rolly Romero's and Isaac Pitbull Cruz's, because his talent, there's a gap in talent, right? Yeah, those fights are entertaining, but there's a gap in talent, period. He's the more talented, more skilled fighter, hands down. It's not even close. And so people want to see him in fights that they perceive, fans, because fans they shell out their money, so fans want to see the best fight the best, the fights they perceive to be 50-50 fights. And that's a fight between Tank and Lomachenko, or Tank and Devin Haney. And he stated he wanted to fight Devin Haney. If Devin Haney was victorious, I want to fight him. I want to fight Devin Haney next if he wins. Well, that went by the wayside. Now it looks like his team is focusing on undefeated lightweight Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia's 22 wins, no loss, no draw, 18 wins by way of knockout, 23 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. And that's mainly so because of the status. So it's looking like they're moving Gervonta Tank Davis' career commercialized. Not so much for his legacy, but commercial. One thing, and I have no problem with that. No problem with that. The problem is that we say, including myself, I say there's only 3 people that I feel can beat Gervonta Tank Davis. That's undefeated 2-division world champion, unified super featherweight world champion, Olympic silver medalist, superstar boxer Shakur Stevenson, who's 18 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, who's a southpaw as well, and Devin Haney. And the third person being, ultimately, Gervonta Tank Davis himself, standing in the way of himself, right, outside of the ring. Well, you know, people start to hold me to that. Well, how we know that? Well, we ain't see him fight Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson recently came out. He said he don't want nobody to ask him about Gervonta Tank Davis because ain't nobody asking Tank Davis about him, and he ain't interested in fighting him. Now, that's another guy. Tank Davis took to social media and stated, I'm going to go back down to 130 and I'm going to fight Shakur Stevenson. After this fight with Rolly, they had a spat on social media. I'm going to go back down to 130 and I'm going to go down there and fight Shakur Stevenson. And then he changed his mind after, I'm not going down to 130 no more. I'm comfortable at 135. And people are growing tired of it. Period. My thing is this. I'm all for pushing them, promoting them, making the most money possible. But at some point in time, you got to want to focus on building legacy. And Floyd Mayweather would have none of this if this was the shoe was on the other foot and he was the active fighter. No way. If you remember Pretty Boy Floyd, and you were privy to watch Pretty Boy Floyd, okay, he was calling out any and everybody. Now, maybe Floyd Mayweather looked at it from a different standpoint now, and he's saying to himself, I should have did things different, right? Maybe that's the standpoint he's looking at it from, right? But Floyd Mayweather, with Pretty Boy Floyd, he would have had none of not fighting the absolute best there was to offer. Calling out Costa Zoo, calling out Joel Casamayor, calling out Asalena Freitas, calling out Prince Nassim Hamed. He wanted all those fights, and he would have not had nobody tell him that he don't need those fights. That's the reason why he bought his way out of his contract with Bob Arum and ESPN at the time, Bob Arum and Top Rank, excuse me, at the time, because he didn't feel like he was being promoted correctly, and he didn't feel like he was able to secure the big fights like Oscar De La Hoya was. Period. So it don't seem like, unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to see Lomachenko versus Gervonta Tank Davis ever fight. It's never going to happen. So let's see what happens moving forward. I think we're going to get Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia in November, sometime around that time. So let's see how everything unfolds and plays out. First, Ryan Garcia got a fight coming up tomorrow against Javier Fortuna. That's no walk in the park. He got to secure that victory first. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for you. Peace.